everyone. I am Khadija Farah. I work in the backend department of Chakrabarti and Lankar Innovations Private Limited. And today I would like to present you the topic Introduction to Hash. So in this module, we will see what is hash, why do we need hash, and how to implement hash in Julia. So let's get started. So what is hash? Hashing is the process of transforming any given key or a string of characters into another value. So I'll give a perfect example for hashing. So suppose you are going to create a Facebook account for yourself. So you will be giving all the important details like your name, last name, phone number, email, and then you will be asked to give a password for your account. So next time when you log into Facebook, you will be asked to give your email ID and your password for your authentication for you to log in next time. So the way how password is retrieved from the user, like you would have seen, it will be in the form of dots. So that is the way how confidential details are retrieved from the user. So what happens behind the scene is that whatever details you gave, like name, first name, last name, mobile number, email, whatever, all these things are getting stored in the database. So they'll be in the backend database, in the table, your name, your last name, your first name, all your information will be stored in the the required fields. In all those fields, whatever details you have given, it is getting stored in the database. But when you give your password, it is not getting stored in the database. What will happen is that when you give your password, it is getting converted to something called a hash, and this hash is what is getting stored in the database. So uh, whatever you type as your password, it is getting converted to a hash, and that particular hash key is what is getting stored in the database. Now I'll come up with a more clear understanding after explaining this particular thing, which is hashing is one way. So hashing works in one direction only. That is, for a given piece of data, you will always get the same hash, but you can't turn a hash back into its original data. So if you need to go into two direction, you need encryption rather than hashing. Okay, so suppose you have logged into your account and you just went somewhere else. So some other person can use your account and get all your information and hack your account. Suppose your account is logged in and some other person is using your account. So for this other person, he can actually get all your information because everything is stored. So from the database, he can get all the information like your mail, mobile number, and everything. But he can't get your password because your password is stored in the database in the form of a hash. Like I've told you, it's for that key hash key is what is stored in the database. That is exactly what is given here. If you have if you have a string, you can convert it into a hash, but with the hash you cannot retrieve it back to you can't turn a hash back into its original data. So even if somebody else is some cyber criminal is using your account, which you have already logged in, or he just hacked it somehow and got your account, he can't get your password because password is hashed and you cannot turn a hash back into its original data. You will get that hash key, but he can't do anything with that hash key because he cannot turn that into your original password. So that is one of the main reason why we need hashing. So now what is encryption? So if you want to you want to turn your data into a hash and retrieve your data back with the same hash, that is something that is achieved through something called as encryption. So with encryption, you pass some data through an encryption formula and get a result that looks something like a hash, but with the biggest difference being that you can take the encrypted result, run it through a decryption formula, and get your original data back. So when you're doing if you want to turn your data to a hash key and get the data back from the hash, then you'll have to do both encryption and decryption. There will be something like encryption formula and decryption formula. Using both of these, you can do both the work, vice versa. So this is one of the reasons why we use hash and why hashing is very important. So hashing, um, you know, it ensures security for all your information. Now next is, why do we need hash? One of the reasons we already discussed, so we'll just see. Hashing is a fundamental concept in computer science and cryptography, and it serves several important purposes. So here are some reasons why we need to use hashing. So there are actually a lot of reasons why we need to do hashing. The following things are some of the basic things which I've noted it here. So there are actually a lot of places why we need hashing, and a lot of reasons why we need hashing and why it is very important. So we'll see one by one. Data integrity. Hashing is commonly used to ensure the integrity of data. Even a small change in the input data will produce a completely different hash value. Okay, now I will explain this first point with an example. Okay, with an actual, like how exactly hash works. I will show you with the software. So like it ensure integrity of data. So even if you, so suppose you are typing your password, and in the place of one character, which is an alphabet, you gave, instead of giving a small letter, you gave a capital letter. Even that is counted as an error. That is counted as an incorrect password. Yeah. So yeah, and one more thing which I forgot to mention before is that the reason why how do we know that the password, like the exact password which you type, is not getting in the database, is not getting stored in the database, is that sometimes when you forgot your password, like if the password is getting stored in the database, why wouldn't you know uh, the system, like the server, will let you know, okay, this is your password, like we have retrieved it from the database, now you can type it and log in. That doesn't happen, right? It always asks you, like, did you forget your password? Then log in with your mobile number or email, and it will be your particular reset password, OTP or something will be sent into whatever it is, email or mobile number. So yeah, so that is the reason, like your password is never stored in the database. It is always, what is stored in the database is the hash key. When your password is hashed, that particular key is only getting stored in the database. And even if the computer or the server send you the key, you cannot turn that key back into your original data. That is done only through encryption. So this is one thing which I forgot to mention. So okay, now I will show you an example. Like let's go to, there is a software. Okay, so there are a lot of hashing algorithms. Like I hope everybody knows what a Bitcoin is. So Bitcoin is comes under this blockchain. It's a technology that is developed under blockchain system. So the hashing algorithm which Bitcoin uses is SHA-256. Now this is like what we're using right now. This is another hashing algorithm. So there are actually a lot of hashing algorithms. So even the programming language which has its own hash will be using some kind of hashing algorithm to implement. So let's say I'm typing something like 1 2 3 ABCD exclamation, two exclamations. So I am generating a hash for this. Okay, so this is the particular hash I'm getting for the string I have given here. Now, okay, just note the at least the first four characters like BF70. Now I'm going to change this capital D into small d. Now note this. Now I'm generating the hash again. Let's see if it is the same, because I've just changed it caps to small. So let's see if it will give the same hash value. Sorry. See, it's entirely different. So even if there is a minute difference, see, it's the same character, it's just small in caps, but even that makes a very large difference in the hash. So that is what is meant here by data integrity. I'm sorry. So that is what is meant here by data integrity.